What's up? Hey, hello, everyone. Wow. So today we are back going to be talking about 10 best fourth place finishers in Survivor history. So basically, this was like our other video, but fourth place, we thought it was the second winner. So my name is Rachel.
And I'm Alyssa, and this video was actually like a little harder for us to do than the second place finishers video because more of the people who have finished in fourth place have been back, and we were trying to like not do as many people who had like played multiple times, but like a lot of the really big names in Survivor, like the people who have played a shit ton of times, have been fourth placers. Like both Sari and Ozzy finished in fourth place, and it's like
We didn't want to include like those kind of people on the list because then they've already played 3 or 4 million times. So we try to pick people that they've played one time, maybe two. So some of the people it's like on the list, but we really think a lot of times the second best person on the season or who made it and was lucky enough to make it to Final Four, Final Five is typically voted out at Final Four because, you don't want them to get to the finale or else they'll win. So you have to vote them out one before or sometimes earlier if you're actually smart at the game and you'll get out the threats earlier. But what do we know? We're stupid.
We've never played Survivor. We don't know anything.
Yeah, so starting off this list, we have someone from season 15, way throwback to Survivor China, and that is Denise, who finished fourth place. She was the lunch lady on the season, and she also had the mullet, which I don't know, I feel like Survivor doesn't cast this kind of person anymore, and that's an issue. I feel like she sort of reminds me of Lauren from season 35, and if she was very likable in China, everything like that. So that's why she was voted out right before the finale, final three. So I don't know. I feel like if you cast girls that aren't the supermodel, or you aren't going out and picking your people for the season, you can have gems like Lauren and Denise on your show.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting what you said about like she reminds you of Lauren because I didn't make that connection. And then as soon as you said it, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I also think it's really interesting when people get voted out just because they're like likable, because at least in like the newer waves of Survivor, I feel like being likable isn't what wins you the million anymore. And it's like only when juries are super bitter does being likable even really seem to matter.
Yeah, that's why it was interesting. Ghost Island, they were like, oh, we need to vote out Sebastian because he's so likable, like he'll get all of the jury. But then it's like, what did Sebastian do all season? He straight up said that he didn't have to play the game until like the final 6 days of the freaking show. So it's sort of like that. And then Sebastian comes out of the show into those post interviews saying, like, I would 100% come back, like, watch me play the second time kind of thing. But it's like, dude, you didn't do anything the entire show. Like, what gave you the impression that you're going to be invited back? You're not that good TV. So, like, where's
The
your
only the only reason they bring Sebastian back is if they needed like a little bit of a weird like twist. Just because like he can be off spouting crap about like banana laffy taffy or whatever.
people who are good at confessionals but bad at the show? I don't know. I wouldn't want to see him back. Like, just no.
Yeah, and I feel like for Denise, it's been so long since she played in China that she probably wouldn't come back just because it's like China was over 10 years ago. That makes me feel really old for some reason. So it's like that was 10 years ago. She's probably like moved on to do better things with her life. So
Which is sad because these next few people are from season 16 and 18, and it's sort of like I would have loved to see them back, but now it might be a little bit too late for them to come back. So, Alyssa, you can announce the second
yeah,
person.
so the next person that we have on the list is Natalie Bolton from Micronesia, season 16. And I thought it was really interesting because Natalie was the fan that made it the furthest in this game. And like, she seemed to be pretty intelligent. Like she wasn't just being dragged along by the favorites because she could be. Like she actually had some like strategy and some good ideas. And she finished fourth place just because she was a fan. At least that's how I remember it. But yeah, I would have really liked to see her come back, but it's like most people don't remember who she is.
Yeah, which is weird. I feel like Suri, Parvati, Amanda get all of the kudos, I guess, for that big play on Eric. But then it's also like, I don't know. I feel like all of them were a part of it. Natalie was the one who talked to Eric about giving her the immunity kind of thing. So it's like she had skills and she was, like you said, the longest lasting fan on the show. And fan versus favorites. Favorites in the seasons that we saw have won both times. So it's like it's already sort of rigged into the favor of the favorites coming back. So, like, that's really good. I don't know. I wish she would come back again. I think she has like the really attractive, flirty power to win the game. She has the skills, I feel like, and she's athletic and she's attractive. I think she could go far.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the fans in that season were really underrated. Just like Eric is the one that everyone brings up as like the fan that came out of that season, but like Natalie would have been so much better to bring back multiple times because she didn't make stupid decisions like giving up an idol. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, when Eric is brought back multiple times, but like Natalie or anyone from that season who wasn't a favorite coming in, like no one else was really brought back besides Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moving on to the next person, we have Taj from Survivor season 18, Tocantins. And same thing as the last two. It's like now it's a little bit late for Taj to come back to the show. It's a long time, but honestly, I really like Taj from Tocantins. She was really fun to watch and she was all great with the final two, JT and Steven, and then she was booted. And I don't know, it's just cool because she's also not the like stereotypical female archetype that you always see cast on Survivor. So she's just so likable too and friendly and fun.
Yeah, but Taj was also like older when she played Tocantins the first time, and it's like Tocantins was also over 10 years ago. So it's like yeah, she would probably be pretty old to come back again. And I feel like she'd be one of those people that everyone would automatically be threatened by just because she's so damn nice. Like, it's really not fair.
Yeah, like with the family visit, but I feel like that family visit was sort of like cheap, I guess, but like, okay, yes, you go to exile, but then you get a private time, I guess, and then everyone else still gets their loved ones. It could have been more of a risk reward kind of thing, like, oh, you lose your loved one's visit and have to go to exile to get everyone else's loved one visit kind of thing. But Survivor was nice. I really enjoyed watching the Tocantins loved ones visit because it was just so cute, and Taj is so cute. Like, it's great.
Yeah, I love Taj, so I would want to see her back again. The next person we have on our list is Jerry Manthe from season 20. Well, she's from other seasons, but season 20 was the season where she finished fourth place. And she's one of those people that it was like, she's played lots of times before, but we put her on the list because she was a fourth place finisher that we liked. And yeah.
Yeah, and it was weird because for Jerry, Alyssa and I didn't even remember she finished fourth in Heroes versus Villains. So maybe that's like, oh, it's forgettable. Or maybe it's like, oh, she's played multiple times. They sort of get confused, I guess, with everything. So I'm not really sure. But yeah, Jerry, good player. I feel like I don't know if I'd want to see her play again because she has played numerous times. And it's like, why keep bringing back these people when we have so many newbies that could definitely play a second time? But she's good TV. She's good at the game, but I'm not necessarily sure that I'd want to see her play again.
I feel like one of the reasons you might not remember that Jerry finished 4th is the same reason that like people might not remember that Natalie finished 4th, and it's that the final 3 in that season was 3 really big names in Survivor with Parvati, Sandra, and Russell. Just like with Natalie, it was 3 big names in Survivor with Parvati, Amanda, and Sari. And so it's like when you're really focused on like the end of the season, you think of like, oh wow, there was that whole thing between Sandra and Russell, and Parvati and Russell were like doing this and this and this, and it's like you get so focused on the other players and how the season eventually shook out that it didn't have as much of an effect. So I agree that I wouldn't want to see Jerry again, though, just because we've seen her 3 times already. And yeah, I feel like if you haven't won in your first 3 times, you shouldn't come back.
No, that's 100% what I was going to say. Like, if it take, I don't know, more than 3 times, then you're like, like 3rd time, like we saw Tyson and stuff, like, okay, but then going on to your 4th Boston Rob, like, no. I feel like the only 2 people that maybe it was acceptable is Ozzy and Sari because they've come like so close each time, but just like literally 1 vote away or 1 tribal council away. That's more acceptable. Everyone else, it's like you finished 7th and you're brought back 4 times. Like, that's not a good dealio. So, next we have Malcolm from season 25 is when he finished 4th place. And then we have seen him come back again. And I would want to see Malcolm come back, even though, like we just said, he's one of those people that has come back numerous times, still hasn't won kind of thing. But I feel like this past time with Game Changers doesn't really count. It wasn't, we're going to cry again about Malcolm getting voted out. But like,
JT.
that twist was just so bad. You know, he's literally voted out by not his own tribe. He gets really fricked over by that. And Malcolm is such a fan favorite. He needs redemption from that stupid season. So we say he's 4th place, season 25. Him and Denise, I feel like if Malcolm made it to final tribal over Denise, Malcolm would have won, and Denise knew that, and she was smart enough to vote him out. So good for her. But like with that kind of 2 pairing, either one of them would have won if they voted the other out at 4. So it could have been Malcolm winning that season if he won that immunity kind of thing. So it's that ball challenge, screwing people over. But yes, Malcolm, I would want to see play again.
Yeah, I would definitely want to see Malcolm play again, especially because people are keeping like bring back Joe Anglim, and it's like Malcolm is a better version of Joe Anglim. Sorry, not sorry.
And Joe's coming back. This next season, I'm like, please stop.
Yeah. So, the next person that we have on our list is Eddie from season 26. And he's another one of those people where I feel like the trend of like the really good people getting voted out in 4th place like didn't really start until like season 25-ish. So Eddie's another one of those people where I'm like, darn. I think that Malcolm said before on like Reddit or someplace that like Eddie and Reynolds both wouldn't come back again even if they were asked. So
no, I was literally going to say Eddie or Reynolds should come back from season 26. I want the 3 Musketeers reunited. I don't know. I feel like Eddie and Reynolds, they were good. I don't know, maybe because they are attractive males, they shone through, and maybe that's bad to say. But like, who else from 26 that was a fan? I mean, that was a fan have come. A lot of people, I feel like, from that season, I don't know, final 3 with Dawn and them. I'm like, wouldn't really want to see any of them again. We've seen Andrea back numerous times, Brenda. So it's sort of like, who else from that season can you bring back besides the 3 Musketeers? You're not bringing Philip back. Eric's not coming back. Like, he just somehow gets not even himself voted off, but he gets kicked off the show. So, like, who else from that season would you bring back? And that's a bummer that Eddie and Reynolds wouldn't come back, because I feel like they are good TV. And, like, I don't know, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I feel like there's also sometimes I wish with Survivor they would bring back like entire alliances of people that would like get to work together again, just because I feel like that would be so like lit. Like if we saw the Three Amigos versus like the Witches Coven from Second Chances, that would be like lit.
Honestly, I feel like they could do a teams sort of thing. Like, Blood versus Water is semi a teams thing, but like, you can vote out your mom, ha ha ha. But like with Big Brother, we've seen they get paired up or they're in groups and they have to compete as a group. And then if you win like immunity or whatever, your whole group is safe. So then I don't know. I feel like you could do maybe like alliances of 3 or alliances of 2 or whatever, and then put them into the show. And like before the merge, maybe you start as like groups and then you win immunity that way. Then once it's merged, it's like every person for themselves kind of thing. Could be interesting. I don't know, like a partners or a pairs kind of twist like we've seen on Big Brother. Survivor Maryland just did it on their show. So lots of options, Survivor. Come on.
Yes, and so I talked about the Witches Coven from season 31, and that is our next thing.
Yeah, next we have Kelly Wentworth from season 31. I don't know. I was sort of iffy about including her because she is coming back next season as well. And we also have David on this list, but David's a different story. I don't know. Kelly, like, yes, I am excited to see her next season, but I don't think I would want to see her on a 4th season. Then that would be her 4th time playing. I think that's a little too much. I think 3 is good, and she's going to be on this newbie returning season next season, and that's already probably rigged towards one of the 4 people's favor to win it. So I don't know. I really like Kelly, but I don't really know how many more times I can see her play this game.
Yeah, I really liked her too, and I feel like she's one of those players where like she definitely learned between her first and second time playing the game, and so I'm interested to see like her 3rd time if she learns even more, because I feel like it's one thing to keep bringing a player back if they change their game every time, and it's another thing to bring back a player that just does the same thing over and over and expects something different to happen.
That's literally Joe Anglim.
Yes, that is who I was thinking of.
They don't need to keep bringing him back. He literally just wins challenges and makes it far, or is lucky and wins challenges before the merge and makes it to the merge the 2nd time. Like, bring back another attractive dude who's good at challenges. There's a lot of those. You don't need to keep bringing back Joe Anglim, who is becoming sort of washed up now. He doesn't really change his game in any way, shape, or form. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm done with Joe. I'm really excited to see Kelly for a 3rd time, and I think how she does her 3rd time will determine whether or not I'd be up for a 4th time for her.
Yeah, so next we have Sydney from Survivor Co-Wrong, season 32. And I like Sydney. Sydney was my winner pick for Brain, Brawn, Beauty too. So I would enjoy seeing her again, you know, Ivy League and super athletic. I think she could do well in the game. I don't know. I think she'd be good. Maybe we can also do a video that's like Medivacs, because Neil would be good for that from this season. Maybe we can do that video. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. If Co-Wrong is still so traumatic for me, like I think about it and I'm like, ugh. What could go wrong? Everything.
Oh.
Everything. Like,
just everyone from that season can come back when it's less hot.
Except for Caleb. Caleb is canceled.
And Joe, it was Joe, right? Who ate too much meat and then couldn't poop.
Yes. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people from Ko-Rong have already come back because Aubrey came back, Ty came back, Caleb came back.
Which is like, why did they bring? Okay, I can understand Aubrey and Ty. Caleb, don't really understand. Like, okay, yes, he was medevaced, but then he finished in the same place he finished the first time, so he's not improving any. I don't know. I would want to see like what's their faces come back again.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh my god, basketball player and the guy with two first names.
Oh, Scott and Kyle Jason.
Yes.
I hated them. I hated them so much. They were just mean.
Yeah,
I would want to see Alicia come back and see if she could do better without like a tribe full of bullies.
no, honestly, same. I feel like Alicia would be good back. Scott and Kyle, Jason, he went by, whatever. Would be good on a heroes versus villains season. They were interesting. They were fun to hate, basically, on the show. And once Ty screwed them over, it was like, haha, you get what you deserve kind of thing. So I think they would be good as a fun to hate kind of player on a heroes villains season.
Yeah. I wouldn't accept them back as anything other than villains, I don't think. Anyways, next on our list.
They would not be heroes.
Yikes. Next on our list is David from season 33. And Rachel, you said you had something to say about David, like he was a different situation from Kelly.
Yeah, for David, like even though he is coming back next season, 2 seasons from now, basically with Kelly Wentworth, Joe, and them, it's like David, he's only played one time. Like we said in our season 38, like castaway reaction of the returning players coming back to join the newbies. We said like David should have waited, I feel like, to come back on an all returnee season. I think David's honestly too good to come back on a newbie returnee season because that's just like, it's sort of pushed towards the favor of the returners on that season. You've played before and all these newbies haven't played before. We've seen it in like Big Brother, Survivor. Anytime you bring returners back with newbies, somehow they always make it very far into the game. They always make it to the end, final 2, 3, 4, whatever. So yes, David could win season 38 because of this, and I think he is good at Survivor. He could have won Millennials versus Gen X kind of thing if he made it to Final Tribal Council. So, like, I would want to see him play on an all-returnee season, and that's why we put him on this list. I don't really want to see him on 38, but like, what can we do now? It's already done kind of thing. But like, I would want to see him on an all returnee season unless he sucks so bad in 38 that like he's banned from everything. But like, I think David will go far in 38. So I would like to see him on a legend season or something like that.
I feel like the thing with David is if he wins 38, then his return is going to be or his win is going to be kind of diminished because it's like, oh, you're a returnee playing against newbies. It's like when people talk about Boston Rob and Redemption Island, it's like, of course you're going to win. You've played that game 4 times and no one else has played before. So it's like, I'd like to see him win legitimately.
Yeah, like that's the worst season of Survivor kind of thing. Yes, that season was really bad. It was just to watch. So I really hope, like we've said in our 38 cast video, we were like, a lot of people do look at seasons where it's newbies and returners as less difficult than if it were all newbies or all returners. So it's like, okay, someone like Sarah who wins the show with all returners, that's deemed better than if you come back and you are like Ozzy or Coach winning against all new people kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see what David can do because I feel like his main thing when he played in 33 was it took him some time to get used to like being on an island and like island life and all of those things. And now that he kind of knows what to expect going into it, he's not going to be like jumping at every bug he sees.
Yeah,
So
that's why it's interesting because I feel like him, Hannah, Aubrey kind of players who come in sort of scared or crying or like, I'm so paranoid kind of thing, they lose that. I think that makes them a dark horse. People underestimate them as like, oh, the skinny dude who like is really skinny, can't really win stuff, but he's smart and he's super paranoid, so he'll be loyal kind of thing. Versus the second time playing, people know how you've grown into your own, so you don't really have that element of surprise. I feel like to surprise your fellow castaways, like, oh, F you, haha, I'm actually good at the game, but like I came in maybe a little rougher than other people, but like I can still hold my own. David, those kind of people don't have that coming into the season a second time. So like what can they do to lessen the target on their back? What can they do to make it further in the game when they don't have that like I'm so weak facade?
yeah, so it'll be really interesting, especially because in that season, David will have all the eyes on him because it'll be the newbies looking at him. So I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So last we have Devin from Survivor season 35 got voted out. He got fired, challenged out, if that is even a word nowadays, but he was fired, challenged out of the season. And because this is the first time we see the fire challenge, and these people weren't even warned of the fire challenge until like the night that day of. So like at least for Ghost Island, they were warned in advance that there was a new twist, a fire challenge twist at Final Four. People say, Devin could maybe have won the season kind of thing if Ben was voted out at the fourth place, as he should have been, because he didn't win immunity and he didn't have any idols. So like, I don't know, with Devin, I think he can play the game. And like, why bring Joe Anglem back? Why not bring Devin back? They're like similar kind of people.
But
I
Devin
don't
actually
know.
has some strategy. So.
Yeah, like Devin has the social bonds, he was able to make those alliances, and they did the cool double agent spy thing with Ben. I don't know.
The one thing I would say about Devin is that I feel like he didn't take the fire challenge seriously enough. Like, he kind of just assumed that he was going to win. Like, when his flint broke, he was like, this must be a cosmic sign. And it's like, no, no. So I don't feel as bad for him being fired out because he was kind of.
And the clips of like the day of showed like him just laying on the beach, and maybe that's how they wanted to edit it, to be like, oh, he wasn't practicing or he wasn't trying, but oh, Ben was trying 24/7 to practice fire, so that's why he lost kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that rounds out our list of our 10 favorite fourth place finishers in Survivor. Like we said, we tried not to include the people who have played tons and tons of times, but if we didn't include someone in this list that you think we should have, feel free to let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, and let us know what other videos you want to see us do. I'm going back to school next week, which is so crazy. Like, get ready for some more dorm videos for me, and Alyssa's going back to jail. So get ready for some more penitentiary juvie videos. I don't know what it's called.
I'm not going back to school for another 3 weeks, so you won't be seeing my cinder block walls for a while.
We'll both start wearing orange for these videos too. But yes,
yeah.
let us know any videos you want to see us do. As always, thank you all so much for watching. We had a good chat in the chat box with Zach and Reality TV Fanatic. Charlie just did a smiley face. So come chat with us next time, and we will see you all next week. So
Bye.
peace out.